I know you LOL when Naruto failed at turning into the tail beast and turned into that little fox. So Naruto Shippuden episode 264 for the most part was half and half between Naruto training with Killer Bee and Tobi, and I guess Kabuto, him demanding Kabuto to teach him everything about Edo Tensei. So the first half of the episode with Naruto training, it was funny, there was comedy moments to it, and at the same time we learned a little bit more about Naruto, I guess his limits and techniques and exactly what he can and can't do, because at the end of the day he hasn't tamed the QB all the way. He just has his chakra, but he can't transform into the QB or anything like that. And it's kind of crazy because I wonder if B went through this where he couldn't turn into the Hachibi, but he could actually like use the Hachibi's chakra. This might be like a separate case because the Nine Tails out of all the tail beasts is the most stubborn. So it's possible that it's a lot more difficult, because a lot of people would say, hey, this is a ripoff. Naruto conquered him. Why isn't he using his looking like him and whatnot? But he hasn't mastered it yet completely because he hasn't tamed him. He's still, the Nine Tails has this will that is hard to break, kind of like the will of fire. And so that's pretty much the reason why, for the most part, with that. I liked seeing Naruto try to master the Tail Beast Bomb. It kind of reminded me of when he was trying to learn Rasengan. And it's kind of interesting that the fourth Hokage, his father, Minato, taught him, like, learn the Rasengan, and it was a form of the Bijuu bomb. And it's crazy the planning that he must have had in his mind with everything and learning everything about, I guess the Rasengan and Tail Beast Bombs. It's like a form of it, which kind of explains why it's always was, I guess, incomplete for him, because it was such a new thing and such a trying to do something that only a Tail Beast, like, a Jinchuriki could possibly do. So it's real interesting to see that it kind of all connects that back, how Minato never could really master it well enough, and it was just one of those techniques. Same thing with I believe Kakashi can never really master it, and it's because it was more so a prototype of, I guess, a move that only Jinchurikis could do. So that's pretty awesome, the connection right there, bridged. And overall, the training with them is pretty funny, and at the same time, it's interesting to learn and see. Not the biggest fan of the visuals of how they're handling QB Chakra mode in the anime. It could look a little bit better, but some of the visuals definitely looked appealing, and I liked the whole soundtrack that they had for, because they introduced a soundtrack a while ago when Killer Bee is in a scene. It's like this little rap soundtrack, and it's pretty interesting with those scenes when they're training, and I think it kind of fits and makes it not too serious, but at the same time not too funny. It's just right with my, in my opinion. And then the whole Tobi and Kabuto thing, I was a little bit annoyed that they censored one of the biggest things that Tobi has done, in my opinion, or shall I say one of the most violent acts he's done, where he takes one of Danzo's men and snaps his neck. He like grabs his neck, and then like we don't see it, goes off camera. I was like, I mean, at least they did it. They didn't completely remove the scene, because another series would have removed that. And he does say about killing him, whatnot. They talk about that, so it wasn't completely dumbed down. But I was like, this is Tobi's one big thing that I think he has done in the whole series, as far as a straight up murder, violent, not giving a crap about nothing. I mean, he's done some other stuff as well, but this was like on camera, and they censored it a little bit. Could have been shown a little bit, but at the end of the day, they are like small children watching this, so they wanted to dumb it down a bit. And learning about Edo Tensei and whatnot, the weaknesses, it definitely shows that it's a formidable, technique. And Orochimaru took it further, and Kabuto seems to take it the furthest as far as where it could go, because the second Hokage created it and whatnot. And Edo Tensei is just a crazy technique. The way it was explained and whatnot, and just seeing how they just were so heartless with it, taking Danzo's quote-unquote dogs and snapping one's neck and then using the other one as a reanimation. And, it's just real interesting. Now, the whole thing with Anko of not killing her and needing her chakra and whatnot, that's kind of interesting as well, because I don't want to spoil anything, but I just, her purpose doesn't seem to have, or she doesn't seem to have much of a purpose, other than, supposedly getting Orochimaru's chakra out of her. But maybe Kabuto has more plans other than that, and that was just a decoy, so to speak. And it's kind of funny to see the tension between Kabuto and Tobi. Like, in my opinion, Kabuto is a bit scared, and he even states, I'm not dumb enough to lie to you and whatnot. And Kabuto kind of comes off as a coward, but he has a lot of techniques up his sleeve, so he's playing it safe, I'd say, for the most part, with the whole thing of going up against Tobi. And Tobi just seems a bit worried and on edge. He even got a white Zetsu tail in Kabuto, and again, no trust is not going to lead them anywhere great. They got to, you're supposed to trust each other. They're at war against the Shinobi Alliance, so. It's definitely going to be the downfall. Overall, pretty decent episode. I prefer, I guess, the first half because I did like the whole comedy with B and Naruto and learning more about the tail beast and the fact that he turned into that little fox mode. That was kind of funny. But the second half was interesting as well because learning about a little more about Edo Tensei's crazy technique and Tobi's big moments, which was kind of censored, but still nonetheless, he's snapping necks now, so to speak. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Favorite moment? Was it the first half with Naruto? Second half with Tobi? Overall thoughts on everything that's going on so far with the war? How are you liking it so far? Do you think that the war is going in a good direction and whatnot? This episode didn't showcase too much of the war. It was like what's going on the sidelines of the war, and you need that every once in a while. You don't want constant battle, then you get bored of it. But yeah, that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thumbs up if you thought the episode was crazy, and you really want to see more war action, and inside of the war. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.